Alright, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at how we can solve for unknown angles by using what our knowledge is of angles, and instead of using a protractor for everything. So our first question asks us to solve the following without using a protractor. So let's get started. So we've got A and we have 2 points. We have one angle and another angle, and they're making a straight line. So angles on a straight line all add up to 180 degrees. So a straight line is always going to equal 180 degrees. Okay? So what do we know from this? We know that 65 degrees plus whatever x is has to equal 180 degrees. And from this information, we can work out that x degrees will equal 180 degrees minus 65 degrees. Okay? So once we solve for that, we can get that x is actually equal to 115 degrees. Alright, keep in mind this kind of calculation only works if we have two angles on a straight line. Let's look at B. So for B, we have, instead of a straight line, we have a right angle, and a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. Now, because it's equal to 90 degrees, our 35 degrees plus whatever we have for our pronumeral x has to also equal 90 degrees. This means that x is going to be equal to 90 degrees minus that 35 degrees. So x is in fact equal to 55 degrees. Alright, let's look at C. C is another straight line, so we can simply write that x is going to be equal to 180 minus our other angle, which is 123. So 180 minus 123 is going to be 57. So x degrees is equal to 57 degrees. If we look at D, we have another right angle, so we know that x is going to be equal to 90, take away what we know, which is 38. Alright, so x is actually going to be equal to 52 degrees. Okay, so this is how we can use right angles and straight lines ultimately to solve for unknowns, because we know they have to add up to a specified amount. All right angles have to add up to 90, and all straight lines, all the angles on a straight line have to add up to 180 degrees. Alright, here's a few for you to practice, so give the video a pause, give them a go, and then I will solve them. Alright, let's get started. So we're looking at E as our first one, and we can see it's a straight line. So x is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 140 degrees. Okay, so x degrees is actually going to be equal to 40 degrees. For F, we have a right angle, so that we know x degrees is going to be equal to 90 degrees minus what we know, which is 15 degrees, and that's going to be equal to 75 degrees. For G, we have x degrees is also going to be 90 degrees minus 5 degrees, and that's going to be 85 degrees. And finally for H, we have two angles on a straight line, so we know that x degrees is going to be 180 degrees minus 98 degrees, which is going to be equal to 82 degrees. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.